I've been seeing more and more people say the same thing lately, that going to Disney just isn't worth it anymore. Prices keep going up, lines keep getting longer, and somehow you're paying more for less. So at this point, people are starting to ask, is Disney actually becoming a scam? Now, before we get into it, if you're liking the content, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. Every little bit helps the channel to grow. Now let's get into it. Now, obviously, scam is a strong word, but when you look at what you're paying versus what you're getting, I kind of get why people feel that way. Now let's start with the biggest thing, value. A lot of those parks honestly don't even have that many rides and attractions, and the ones they do have are constantly packed. So you end up paying premium prices just to spend most of your day standing in line. And it gets even worse when you realize that sometimes multiple rides are closed at the same time for refurbishments or construction. And Disney is still charging full price like nothing's changed. For example, currently, Animal Kingdom, with all the construction that's going on, has 4 rides that are currently operating. And in the winter months, Cali River Rapids isn't open because it's a water ride and it's cold. 4 attractions in a theme park that's still charging close to $200 a day per person is absolutely ridiculous. Think of this. Dollywood in Tennessee, that park alone has over 60 attractions. That's more than the entire Walt Disney World resort put together. Add up all the attractions at 4 theme parks, and it doesn't equal what Dollywood has in one park. Then there's the whole Lightning Lane and MultiPass situation, which, let's be honest, is where a lot of people feel ripped off. FastPass used to be free, and now you're paying extra just to skip lines that feel longer than ever. And that's the problem. These systems don't just exist alongside the lines, they actually affect them. So if you don't pay, you're stuck waiting even longer. It starts to feel less like an option and more like something that you have to buy. With the Lightning Lane and MultiPass and Genie Plus, when that all started, Disney basically created a solution to a problem that was created by their solution to their own problem. Genie Plus and MultiPass is relatively cheap, which means it's pretty affordable for the average family. The problem is, Disney prioritizes the Lightning Lanes and FastPass lines over the standby line. Well, now with so many people in the FastPass line, the standby line moves slower and slower and slower. Get rid of the Lightning Lanes and MultiPass altogether and just make the standby line the only option. You'll get through those lines a whole lot quicker. Instead, it's all about the money and all about nickel and diming their customers. Which leads us to one of the most egregious things that I think of, is that new rides are starting to get locked behind a paywall. Every time Disney opens a new ride, it's not just get in line and ride it, it's a virtual queue or an individual Lightning Lane purchase or both. So even after paying to get into the park, you're still not guaranteed to experience the new attractions unless you jump through hoops or spend even more money. And that's where a lot of people start to feel like the experience is being priced out for them. Prime example, Disney closed Splash Mountain. Huge mistake. Refurbished it, reinvented the ride, and now it's Tiana's Bayou Adventure. When that ride opened, you couldn't just get in line to ride it. You had to get lucky enough to get a virtual queue, and if you didn't get one of those, you could buy an individual Lightning Lane to ride that ride. You're going to charge extra money to ride a ride that's been in the park for decades just because you slapped a new coat of paint on it. They did it with Tron, they did it with Guardians of the Galaxy, they will do it with Radiator Springs Racers, and whatever comes to Villains Land. No longer can you buy a ticket, walk in the park, and ride everything. You want to ride the newest attraction, you better open up your wallet more, and it's a giant scam, and it's bullshit. And that's where I think the real issue is. Disney has always been expensive, but it used to feel like you were paying for something special. Now, for a lot of people, it feels like you're constantly being upsold at every step of the experience. You can't even get a free bus ride from the airport anymore. The perks are disappearing, the extra magic hours are dwindling away, but the prices keep going up. and the value keeps going down. So is Disney actually a scam? I don't know if I would go that far. It's really all based up to the individual and what they're willing to pay and what satisfies them for their money spent. But I do think it's becoming harder and harder to justify the price, especially for families who used to see this as a once-in-a-lifetime trip. But I'm curious what you think. Is Disney still worth it? Or is it starting to feel like you're paying way too much and getting far less than you used to? Let me know in the comments below. And once again, I thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.